Jem is my name, no one else is the same. Jem is my name. Jem.
Oh, Roxy, what have you done with your hair? And you, Jetta, why? And Pizzazz, those bangs are actually kind of working for me. Good job. So I continue to enjoy the different hairstyles that the various characters are sporting, issue to issue and page to page in some cases, so that's pretty cool. So in this episode, or issue rather, Blaze gets Clash a catering job at the benefit that the Holograms are playing at, and she's there to sabotage stuff. And, she does. It looks like she's trying to kill the Holograms. Because, we end on a cliffhanger. Which is a good place to end. Clash is on the, I figured they were having some sound problems earlier. When they're doing the setup pre-show, so I figured that because Clash showed up with bolt cutters and wrench and stuff, I'm like, oh, she's gonna sabotage the sound and lights and stuff like that. And indeed, they've got some sound problems. There's like, Aja, can you help them out? And da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, so she's sabotaged the thing. No, maybe that was her, but that wasn't her entire plan if that was her, because during the performance, she's up in the catwalk on the lighting rig, and she uses her bolt cutters to cut one of the cables above the band, so the last panel is Jem going, "What's that sound?" And the entire lighting rig is plummeting towards her face, and you can see it reflected in her eyeball. It's a really great shot. I could turn the page and find out what happens, but we'll leave that for now. So, as I had mentioned previously, one of my requirements for making Jem feel like Jem is death-defying adventure. If Jem and the Holograms aren't constantly almost dying, then it's not Jem and the Holograms. Well, this is either a really short run, or it looks like they're going to be almost dying because, Jem's about to be crushed by a lighting rig. It's not funny. So Rio shows up to them. Jesus, there's a great shot of Pizzazz being angry. Rio shows up early to this benefit, and he's quite self-effacing. He's like, I know I'm early. Early people are the worst. But, to compensate for my rude earliness, I thought I'd offer to help. Anything I can do. And some guy in the background just drops the entire drum kit, and Shayna is like, could you get me a latte? And he goes, sure, absolutely. Jerica, sure. And he's like, so he goes and he gets 3 lattes. I think he gets 4 anyway. But there's a great little bit in here. Let me see, where is it? So, Rio says, no problem, 3 lattes, because she says, can you get one for Aja, too? And he says, no problem, 3 lattes coming up, and Shan said, well, I like them. Ply me with coffee. And she says, what about Kimber? And Jerica says, late people who don't unpack their own gear do not get fancy coffee. Which is a pretty great line. And I'm just noticing that the lighting rig stuff was actually foreshadowed in this panel. So nice job, story and art layout peoples. And of course, where Aja shows up after she helped fixing the sound, Rio says, "Oh, you must be Aja," and she goes, "Latte?" He's like, "Oh, you're Aja," and he's handing her the latte that he got, and she goes, "You are my new favorite person." And that's, if you want people to like you, give them fancy coffee. If you want me to like you, I don't like coffee. I mean, I will appreciate the gesture, but I'm not going to drink it. I can't even stand the smell of coffee. Fancy or no. So, Kimber and Stormer meet up again, and Stormer's like, look, my band forbids me from seeing you because you're the competition, so we can't see each other. And it's like, but we've just met and we love each other. We've got the keytar in common. How many people have a keytar in common? This was meant to be. But she says, no, my band must come first. It's all about the music. And she walks out. And Kimber chases after her and they smooch. And I was thinking to myself, man, they do work fast. But, on the other hand, Jerrica and Rio got to kiss number one a lot faster. I mean, that was at the end of the first date. So, man, these couples work fast. Or maybe I'm just slow. But I think, you know, decades of getting to know each other is an appropriate amount of time before taking it to the next level of the hugging. So, one thing that I've been interested to see play out is the eventual dynamics between Rio and JEM. So, here we have an instance where Jerrica is doing her, manager stuff, trying to set up the show, and she's going to have to sneak off to the dressing room and become JEM at some point, but Rio shows up. It's like, oh, what if he's going to, want to watch the show with me? I mean, I guess I can tell him that I'm, working behind the scenes or something. This is going to be tricky. So how's this going to play out? Well, while he's running to get coffee, he gets coffee and she gets her coffee, and so she runs into the dressing room, changes to JEM. And, actually, let me make sure I've got this right. Did he already give her coffee? No, he's okay. He gets the coffee. He's looking for Jerrica. He's like, Jerrica, and she goes in here, and he walks in, and it's JEM. He's like, oh, hi, thought it was Jerrica. And she goes, oh, no, it's just me. She's around somewhere, though. And so she takes his coffee and starts drinking it, and he's like, that's Jerrica's. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure she won't mind, though. And he goes, okay, so... yeah, I'm Rio. And she's like, right, she told me about you, and it's nice to meet you. I'm Jim. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go find Jerrica. Bye. And she's like, oh my god, he thinks I'm an idiot. So, interesting new dynamic. Rio, in this version at least, thinks Jem's a bit of a flighty and rude dipstick. So, that's an interesting... whoa, my golly gosh and bagels, what is with Jem's shoes? Synergy, what is with you and footwear? Oh my god, what is with these shoes? Again, I don't hate it, but that's definitely, that's a, them some unique foot duds. Also, what I was talking about, JEM is, 5 or 6 inches taller than Jerrica, so how is Synergy... I mean, there's no actual shot of her drinking the latte, but I imagine at some point she's going to drink it. And so I guess Synergy is not just projecting stuff. She's probably projecting light to literally erase stuff. Because otherwise it would look like JEM is pouring coffee into her throat or something like that. Right? She's drinking like this because that's where, Jerrica being shorter, that's where her face is. So Synergy's going to have to erase this hand and redraw it up here. But she's a powerful computer. She's got the power. I said the thing. So the Misfits are, of course, there's a little sequence of them doing their own show on... I don't know, some late night show. They're promoting their stuff. And of course, the guy's like, oh, you guys are great. So what do you think about them JEM and the Holograms, eh? And Pizzazz loses her shit again and starts screaming. There's another really great shot of Pizzazz that I wanted to touch on because I think it's, again, emblematic of her being possibly bipolar. And it's this bit on this page. I could give you the page number, but unless you actually have the book, I don't think you care. Here's the panels. She's sitting in the makeup chair doing her makeup, bitching at her bandmates, and you can see her face just completely fall. And then just, just everything's bubbling up and that anger's coming out again. So, yeah, Pizzazz has issues. Perhaps even more issues than JEM and the Holograms from IDW. That was a lame joke. I should feel bad about that joke, but I don't. So, all right. Everyone have a nice day. I'm going to go see if JEM gets crushed to death by falling scaffolding, and I'll report back in the next video and let you know if she's dead. If she is, I don't know what they're doing for the next 40, 50 issues. But I'm looking forward to finding out.